strontium titanium. And then the Green's function of this macroscopically inhomogeneous problem is nothing but the average of the Green's function of the insulating state and the metallic state, weighted by their composition. And then you look at the imaginary part of this Green's function, that's your spectrum. That is absolutely where the length scale has become macroscopic of inhomogeneity. The other limiting behavior is the microscopic scale of inhomogeneity, where any large length scale you look at, 5 angstrom or 10 angstrom, you'd find the same number of lanthanum and strontium. So you cannot distinguish over a 10 angstrom region here or there. They look identical. But if you go to the atomic length scale, you find inhomogeneity. Of course, because at this side there is lanthanum, you go to the next side, that's strontium. And that is inhomogeneity, right? So that is the inhomogeneity at the atomic length scale. Larger than the atomic length scale, there is homogeneity. That means it's very well mixed, but still at some sites you have lanthanum, some sites you have strontium. So at atomic length scale you have an inhomogeneity, which you call the microscopic inhomogeneity. And that's much harder to handle, but it turns out, oh, I forgot to mention that this work, I've shown the authors of this paper, which is my student Barman and the group of Kotlier and his student Kajwiter. This is the point where Kotlier and Kajwiter came in and they realized that you can start with a Hubbard-like model. This would be exactly the Hubbard model. Now, if this is the hopping term, this is the diagonal energy, and this is the chemical potential, and this is the repulsion term. Single band Hubbard model. If you want to introduce disorder, one of the ways to introduce disorder is to introduce this diagonal energy to be a random variable. Then you're introducing random disorder into the system. So in order to model our lanthanum strontium titanate or strontium titanate with oxygen vacancy, we said that this variable epsilon I can have two different values. It can have a value epsilon A, which is characteristic of the lanthanum titanate, and a value epsilon B, which is characteristic of strontium titanate. Okay? And so we say that it has this value epsilon A with the probability PA and EB with probability PB, which immediately says, since the composition is fixed, PA is given by X, PB is given by 1 minus X. This problem, which in principle is intractable and cannot be solved, can be tackled in the large dimension limit. In the infinite dimension limit, one can make an exact statement that this problem, Hubbard-Hamiltonian with diagonal disorder, with two values randomly chosen for epsilon I, actually reduces to an Anderson impurity Hamiltonian, the two Anderson impurity Hamiltonian, which are not completely decoupled. So it looks like two separated Hamiltonians, each of the Anderson impurity variety, but these two are coupled by the same hybridization strength. So the hybridization strength, which is defined here, is a function of the average Green's function, but the average Green's function is given by the solution of the two Anderson impurity problems weighted by the probabilities. So these two Anderson impurity problems are coupled together and you have to solve it self-consistently. It turns out that they have developed certain tricks by which such a problem can be tackled. And they did solve it, and we looked at the result. Let me show you the result. The result turns out to be qualitatively different from what you'd expect from a homogeneous model, for which I have shown you the results before. Here I summarize the result for both the microscopic inhomogeneity, which is this case, and macroscopic inhomogeneity, which is this case. Here I am showing you it's a quite crowded transparency. Let me explain to you what is happening. Let us first look at only the microscopic inhomogeneity result, because the results are very similar here. In the microscopic inhomogeneity case, this is the Fermi energy. This is what we expect, or the calculated occupied spectral weight, occupied photoemission spectrum. This is the unoccupied photoemission spectrum.